Hey everybody, this is Chris and my wife's in the car with me.
I'm Christy.
And just wanted to do a video. Haven't done one in a while. Been busy with work and stuff like that. But just wanted to do an update on what's going on. A lot of stuff politically has changed since I uploaded my last videos. The whole thing going on with with Ukraine and Russia. As many of you probably already know by now, they have raised their nuclear deterrence forces alert. They've raised it. So that could mean anything from, getting bombers ready for, a 15-minute takeoff, getting them loaded up with nukes, getting their ICBMs prepared. Any way you look at it, it's not good. I'm not so sure if it's going to affect us or not. I would assume it would, because if Putin is planning on launching an attack toward Ukraine, it's within their doctrine to use tactical nuclear weapons, maybe even strategic nuclear weapons. They've tried the ground attack, and he's not getting instant results. In fact, I believe they've already lost close to 2,000 Russian troops dead, and they've had a number of planes shot down. Ukraine, I think, has suffered some casualties, but I don't think to that extent. But anyway, I want everybody's opinion on this, but if they hit the Ukraine with nuclear weapons, which I'm not entirely convinced that he won't do, if his back's into a corner, and he's already seen us making military strategy moves by sending, at least 10 to 20,000 of our troops to Europe, to Poland and other NATO countries. You see Britain sending troops into NATO countries. You got Canada. You got all these places sending their troops in and tanks. And you got Air Force bombers being sent. If I was in Putin's shoes, I'd be looking at that too. That's preparing for war. You don't send troops. You don't alert a NATO defense force on a whim, just thinking that, it's all bluff. They're preparing for something. They're not going to come out and tell us that, we're close to a catastrophic apocalyptic scenario. They're not going to come out and tell us that until, an hour to half an hour before the missiles get launched. And then they say, hey, emergency broadcast, you got 30 minutes to get below ground or make some kind of repercussions to save yourself and your family. And that's not really enough time. And with those missiles that Russia could be using, they have multiple re-entry vehicles, which means one missile could hit, 5 different places. They won't know until 20 minutes before where exactly those missiles are going to hit. I don't know if you guys know much about, about nuclear weapons, but the way they're created is that you don't know until the last minute where they're going to hit. Now, we're in Ohio, near the greater Cincinnati area. There's a couple places around. There's an Air Force base in Wright-Patterson and Dayton. Nearest military base probably would be Louisville, Fort Knox. Probably down south in Kentucky would be Fort Campbell. So I mean, there's a couple military bases, and there's a couple of what's called civilian military targets, which could be, we're close to the GE plant, which is under contract to create the engines for the F-22s and F-35 fighter jets. So that would be I would say a target of opportunity. But yeah, I just want everybody's feel on this, because from what it looks like, this war's only been going on for about a little over 72 hours, about 3 or 4 days. And already Putin is up in the ante and talking about using nuclear weapons against, Ukraine or even the United States. We don't know for sure. They're not going to tell us anything, and the politicians, even the UN ambassador for the United States was on television, and she was acting stupid. So that really concerns me, because when politicians start acting stupid and denying stuff and circling around stuff, is when they're trying to hide something. So it's kind of concerning, because if we look at our command structure right now, we have a bunch of people in office who are just wimps. Okay, Putin's not a wimp. He was a ex-KGB officer during the Cold War. He's got experience in military affairs. I mean, if you look at just pictures of him, you can tell he's not a Joe Biden. He's not a let's go out and golf, or let's go out and... I mean, he doesn't need his wife to hold his hand and show him where to go take a piss at. I mean, this guy's tough, and he's seen our response to Afghanistan, how we withdrew from it. He's seen how we are with China. So he's like, you know what? They're not going to cause me any problems. Or if they do, I've got enough nukes to, blast them off the map. So I think people's looking at Putin and they're thinking he's, for hot air. I mean, he could be or he couldn't be, but I don't think I'd want to, mess with a guy like that. I mean, if he's got enough nerve to come and say, there's going to be consequences if anyone interrupts with my military operation against this country. If you interrupt, or if you do anything that he doesn't like, that you're going to suffer catastrophic consequences. That's saying he's going to use nukes. That's a pretty stern threat. But I want everybody else's input on this. I mean, all you can really do right now at this moment is pray. And pray that, he is just using empty threats, but something tells me he may not be just making threats. I think this is his life's work. I think he wants to be remembered in history for something. And this might be what he's wanting to be remembered as. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and, just please do leave comments, because I want to know everybody else's input on this, because the United States is getting kind of scared from what they're doing. They're moving troops into Europe, and they're trying to be politically correct when dealing with Putin. That tells me they're scared of something. So let me know. Hope you guys all have a good Sunday, considering the political atmosphere that's going on. But our prayers are with Ukraine, and hoping they can see their way out by, I don't know. I don't know if they even have a way out. They're supposed to have talks, but you know, if you remember how World War II was starting, Japan was in talks with us on up until the hour that they attacked Pearl Harbor. So just keep that in mind. Just because they're wanting to talk doesn't mean everything's going to be good. But you guys have a great day, and we'll be making more videos to come. Bye.